Welcome to Workout Master, episode number 32. Healthy Living video blog. This is Ruben.
This is Aram.
And today we're going to talk about how you can take control of your own health.
Yeah, you. Are you listening? You.
It is very important. This is what happens, and this is the reason why we wanted to talk about it. We see a lot of clients on a daily basis. Yes, Ruben?
Mm-hmm.
And what we find is most of the time our clients think their health is somebody else's responsibility. It is a doctor's responsibility, it is a trainer's responsibility. In a way, we don't want to take and own that to ourselves, to see that your health, it is something that you can manage yourself.
Yeah. Health is a do-it-yourself project.
Definitely, health is a do-it-yourself project. A lot of times we just let somebody else dictate what should we be doing. With the way that our healthcare is designed, the way our doctors operate, everything is kind of like if you have an issue, you always run to the doctor and ask him for help. Unfortunately, it's not always an issue. And it's not always a solution.
Unfortunately not.
Unfortunately not. So let's talk about...
Well, first of all, you have to take care of your health yourself. You have to instruct yourself, you have to read, you have to learn from people that are doing really, really good from the health. Not only people that are doing lip service, people that you see, that they talk the talk, and they also walk the walk. That's very important. I can tell you honestly, I will never follow advice about health from a person that's actually less healthy than I am. It just doesn't make any sense. If they're so right, why are not they doing it themselves? You have to follow the leaders when it comes to health. There's a lot of people out there that are so-called health experts. We're not. We're just telling you what we know, what we use with ourselves, what we use with our clients, and it has been a clinical experience that actually works really, really good. But I will never give you advice about cardiovascular disease or about cancer or anything like that, because I don't know enough about that stuff, nor do I care to know about it. There's other people that have been ahead of me decades that they have a lot of the answers. Also, following the medical system can lead sometimes to not getting very good results, because it's all based on quasi-good diagnostics, and usually all the answers, they're all given to you in the form of a medication. Well, guess what?
Or surgery.
Or surgery, yes. Guess what? That will be, I have nothing against medication or against surgery, but it will have to be the last resource that we approach once we have pretty much exploited everything else, so we can make less damage to our body and we can actually be less invasive with procedures into our body.
Or it should be a temporary, something that you do, but eventually stop doing. It shouldn't be something that you take all the time.
It means to an end, absolutely. But having people on medication for the rest of their lives, like, well, is it curing anything? No. Actually, if you look at it statistically, when it comes to chronic diseases, our health system is failing dramatically. When it comes to short-term and emergencies, we are doing actually excellent. The proof is that we live a lot longer, and most of it is due to the reason that we have very good emergency response and medical treatments. But when it comes to chronic disease treatment, nothing. We're just as bad or worse than we were 20 or 30 years ago.
For sure.
Right?
Very important point. You gotta, guys, educate yourself. One of the most important reasons why Ruben and I started this video blog is to spread the word, educate our viewers about basic things that you can do. Everything that we talk about here is designed so you can do it. You can be in charge. You can actually follow it. You can enjoy the best health possible for yourself.
Absolutely. So you don't have to get to this point, and it happens to me several times a year. A new client comes in, and you ask, a medical history, what's going on and stuff like that, and they tell you, I'm taking all these medications, and sometimes the list is pretty scary, and the interaction between those medications, and they tell you, well, I have these, and I have that, and I have this other thing, and as a consequence, I have developed this and that. And I'm like, what happened? How did all these things happen to you all of a sudden? Because they say, you know, I was fine, and all of a sudden I go to the doctor, and from 1 month to the next, I have all these complications, and I have all these symptoms, and they're being attributed to having this type of disease, and this type of illness, and this type of chronic this and chronic that. I said, so you mean to tell me that you were fine all the time, you were getting your, you know, yearly checkups, or 6 months, however your HMO, your insurance works out, you know, and 1 year they actually found something that they wasn't there the year before? Not true. You were harboring all along for a long period of time. Disease is actually something that occurs over a prolonged period of time. It doesn't happen overnight. I'm not talking about if you catch the flu, a virus, anything like that. That's obvious. But when we're talking about chronic diseases, like in a lot of cases with, you know, with heart disease, with cancer, with diabetes, with
Digestive dysfunctions,
kidney disease, all this stuff is been going on for a long period of time. So why have you been doing all those years, you know? Because health, let's say that it stands over here, and then you have that downward spiral, you know, then you have symptoms. And from symptoms to disease is a very short step. From symptoms to getting better is a very short step too, if you do all the right things. And from symptoms and disease and death is a very short step too. So you have to make changes quickly. You have to just get yourself out of your fifth point of contact and start doing the things that are right. Do not depend only on taking medications. Medications for all chronic disease, I can say this for sure, all they're doing is masking the symptoms that you have, that this condition is creating for you. You have to, like, you're gonna hear this a million times. You have to eat good quality food. You have to eat quality food in the ratios that are actually good for you, that make you feel good. You have to get a lot of sleep. You have to drink plenty of water. You have to avoid all kinds of stressors that you can avoid. The ones that you can, don't even worry about it, because it creates more stress trying to get rid of them when you can't. You know?
absolutely.
And that's how you make your health better. That's how you can actually gather enough energy to overcome whatever disease might come your way. Sometimes diseases are not easy to get away from, but you are doing the best you can. If you go about your same dysfunctional life all throughout until your last days, and you only depended on medications or what the doctor can do for you, you fail miserably. First of all, you failed to yourself because you actually put your health and your responsibility in the hands of somebody else that may have your best interests at heart, but you're not giving him much to work with. You know?
Take control, guys. What happens is you do feel symptoms coming and going. Sometimes you get a headache, sometimes you have a problem with digestion, sometimes you don't feel good, you're tired, you gain weight. All of those, anything that you get that you don't like is there to teach you a lesson. If you own it and start looking for a solution, you will find a solution, and I guarantee you that.
Right.
If you have questions, you can always ask us questions. We'll be happy to answer any single question that you have, or recommend you somebody else who can actually answer better than us.
Absolutely.
We do like the fact that we teach a holistic approach to health,
Right.
and I find it's extremely important. Our body is a system of systems, so you cannot do just one thing. So you can't say, well, I exercise, then I'm going to be healthy, or I go to doctor for my regular checkups, so I'm going to be healthy.
Yep.
None of it is just a means to solution. It is just another tool in your toolbox.
Yeah.
You can exercise, you can learn about digestion, you can learn about tons of different things that can contribute to overall health. So I like more when the people go to somebody who is a holistic practitioner who at least sees the big picture, that we are a system of systems and it's important to address all different parts of your health.
Yeah, and the name holistic is being bastardized left and right. We see this all the time. I mean, the modality that we practice obviously is doing exercise, doing nutrition, talking about what stress can you get rid of your life to feel better, doing all those lifestyle things that actually make the body feel better. But we're only one part of the holistic system. Like what I'm trying to say is that just because you go to a doctor and he says that he's a holistic doctor, not necessarily means that he's actually fits within the whole model. The whole model is that you're taking care of your physical, your emotional, your mental, and your spiritual self. We mostly dwell on the physical, and we're well aware of it. But the physical sometimes is not where the problem stems from. Sometimes it can come from spiritual, from emotional, or from mental, reasons. And that's when it gets really, really tricky, and you have to be on the hands of a really qualified person that can help you see all those things. That's what holism is about, treating the person as a whole, not only treating one aspect of it.
Find somebody who is good in teaching you something about spirituality. If you have an emotional issues, find somebody who can help you with that.
Absolutely. If you have mental issues, the same thing.
They all will contribute overall to the way you feel, because ultimately the way you feel is a manifestation of imbalance. If you correct imbalance, regardless where it's come from, you will start feeling a lot better.
That's very true.
Do you have anything else?
No, I think that's it for today.
Guys, I'm absolutely sure that your future is looking better already. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.